Okay, here we go. We are working on these ceramic pumpkins. They are put together with 2 pinch pots. We will put a hole in the bottom later to kind of be able to manipulate them like this. Ridges, bumps if you want, a cool stem, okay? So let's just get right into it. You're going to receive a blob of clay, at which time you will take that blob of clay and you're gonna do what's called wedging it. You're gonna throw it down on the table a bunch of times. I'm not smacking it, but I am firmly throwing it down in an effort to remove all the air bubbles, okay? So after you've done that for about 4 or 5 minutes, then you're gonna take a tool and you're gonna divide it in half. These wooden tools are called ribs. I mean, some people call them smoothers, but I like to call them ribs. Okay, so now I have my 2 sections of clay. And I'm going, in addition to this, I have some water and I have a smoother. I have this tool here. And you know, we can use the tools in any number of ways. Okay, there is no like one way, okay? All right, here we go. So I'm gonna put this off to the side and I'm working on the one ball here. Okay. All right. The wedging removes the air bubbles. This clay was hard yesterday, but I put it in a bag with a little bit of water and now it's good. You know, you don't want it too moist and you don't want it too hard. Okay, so here's this. Now I'm going fast. You do not have to go fast. I put my thumb in here. I don't go all the way through. And I start pinching and turning and pinching and turning. And what I'm trying to do is have walls that are even thickness. And the bottom is not overly thick either. Now, the pumpkin shape, you know, is like 2 bowls, right? So, let's say. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now these don't have to be perfect, but if you really mess up, just ball it up and do it again, okay? So a common problem is people will pinch too hard on the edges and then the edges get too thin. Don't do that. Also, if it's too craggly, which this is not, then you're gonna wanna, you know, use your moistened fingers to smooth it out. Okay, so here's my 1 pinch pot. Put that off to the side. Pinch pot number 2. This clay is already wedged, so now I'm just trying to get it into a ball shape that I like. Okay. Put my thumb in there. Pinch and turn, pinch and turn. Okay. So I'm pinching and turning. You know, sometimes you might feel like kind of a weak spot. So, you know, redirect some clay over to it. And, you know, you want them about the same, like, opening width, okay? Now, I know, like, some of you guys are like, this looks weird, you know, this isn't what a pumpkin looks like, but, like, you know, we're gonna get there. Okay, so then I'm gonna score and slip these together. The purpose of scoring and slipping is when we score, which is these little marks, we open up the membrane of the clay. And our slip, you know, for our purposes right now is just water. Okay, cool. So then, wet my fingers, put it on here, put it on there. Turn it upside down. Okay. And now I poked a hole in the bottom, okay? I can add that later. And what I'm gonna do is I support with my fingers on the inside while I smooth out on the outside. So I'm doing like almost the same action on the inside as I am on the outside. Okay. So you know, and then you can kind of work on the shape. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going fast. This will take you over the course of days. Score and slip to join, put a hole in the bottom, support and smooth. Okay. Now we're going to add ridges. I'm going to use, and also, just FYI, I mean, you can use a tool to smooth. And that works well too. All right, great. So I'm gonna take any of these tools will work. Here's my dot at the top. I'm not poking all the way through. I'm gonna make some ridges. Okay. Now we're not just drawing lines. I want this to be smooth. Okay. And if you try to hurry this, I'm going to make you do it again. So don't hurry it. But for the purpose of the demonstration, I am kind of hurrying it. All right. So here I have, I'm starting to have the body of my pumpkin, okay? And I'm gentle with it when I put it in my bag too. Okay, now I wanted to smooth this out more, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm gonna go ahead and move to the whatchamacallit, the stem. So I'm gonna grab some clay. Okay, so I will give you additional clay later. Like this is about like the size of a big cherry. I'm going to roll it into kind of like a fat coil. I go from my fingertip all the way to my wrist. So our construction methods have been coil and pinch. And overall, this kind of technique is called hand building, which is different than wheel throwing, which is on the pottery wheel. Or sometimes you use a slab. So this is hand building, pinch, coil. Now I'm gonna turn this, I'm gonna kind of like make it windy a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit, make it a little bigger. Okay. Okay, now I like that better. Kind of this like, now guys, if you make a very sticky outy stem, it might fall off. So be careful, okay? Now we're going to score. A note about the hole in the bottom. It's very important, okay? All right, stick that in there. And put my finger on the inside here. I'm kind of pushing against it. All right. I'll spend the rest of my, few minutes making this nice and smooth. You guys are not gonna want it too bumpy, all right? And then I'm gonna put down here on the bottom, very legibly, name, N-A-M-E, my symbol, and then I will put it on the corresponding shelf to dry. If I'm still working on it, then I need to put it in a bag because it will dry out. All right, so that's it.